Welcome to the deep dive. We all have those nights, right?
Mm,
Sometimes you sleep incredibly well, other times, not so much.
definitely. Tossing and turning.
Exactly. Well, today we're looking into something that might just be a big factor there. It's this really interesting link between intermittent fasting, your sleep quality, and, well, your body's own master clock.
The circadian rhythm. Yeah, we've got some pretty fascinating stuff from recent studies to unpack here.
We do. We're going to explore how when you eat could actually be affecting how you sleep.
Right, like could changing your eating window help you nod off faster? Or maybe wake up feeling, properly refreshed?
Or the flip side, could it be messing with your sleep without you even realizing it?
And maybe the biggest question, how does that eating schedule interact with our body's natural rhythm? The one that kind of runs the show behind the scenes.
Okay, let's dive straight in then. The circadian rhythm, it's essentially, well, it's your body's own 24-hour clock, right? Super smart.
Uh-huh. And it's not just about sleep. It manages a whole load of things. Hormones, digestion kicking in, those energy peaks and dips you feel during the day,
It's running the whole operation.
pretty much. But what's really interesting is that this clock, it doesn't just run on its own. It needs cues, signals from the outside world to stay accurate.
Time setters, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. Scientists call them Zeitgebers. And the two really powerful ones, light, especially that sunlight first thing in the morning, and, well, food.
Food, so eating times.
Yep. Think of them as messages. Light says, hey, it's daytime, wake up. Food says, okay, fuel's here, time for activity, time to digest.
Right, right. And that brings us straight back to fasting, because if food timing is such a big signal,
Then when you choose to eat or not eat, has a really significant impact on setting that clock.
so these fasting patterns, they could either really help sync things up with your natural rhythm.
Or, potentially, if you're not careful about the timing, they could disrupt it. Throw it off kilter a bit.
Okay, so theory is one thing. What does the actual, the science say about fasting and sleep? What have studies found?
Good question. There's actually some really interesting research. For instance, uh, a 2024 review looked at time-restricted eating, or TRE.
Okay.
And it found that overweight adults doing TRE actually saw improvements, better sleep quality, and they slept for longer.
Wow. Okay. That's quite clear.
Yeah. And there was another study, this one in JAMA Internal Medicine. Similar idea. People doing an early time-restricted eating plan.
Like finishing eating earlier in the day?
Exactly. Say
Yeah.
eating only between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m., those participants, they reported falling asleep faster
Faster sleep onset. Yeah.
and feeling more refreshed when they woke up, less groggy.
Interesting. So why might that be? What's the mechanism there?
Well, think about eating late at night. It can really interfere with your body making melatonin.
Sleep hormone.
Right. Your body's trying to wind down, get ready for rest and repair. But suddenly it gets this signal, digest food now.
Mixed messages.
Totally. It can confuse that internal clock, maybe push back that natural melatonin surge that helps you drift off.
Right.
It's like trying to prep a room for sleep while someone's still having a party in it.
Okay, bad timing for digestion.
Yeah, your digestive system is active when your body wants to be resting.
So it sounds like aligning the fast with your body clock is, well, pretty crucial for getting these sleep benefits.
That's really the key takeaway. You want your fasting schedule to work with your body's natural rhythm, not against it.
So what would that look like practically?
A good example, a sort of ideal scenario, would be finishing your last meal, say 3 or maybe 4 hours before you actually plan to go to bed.
Giving your body time to digest.
Exactly. Then you fast naturally overnight while you sleep, and you break your fast sometime after sunrise the next morning.
That just feels more natural, doesn't it? It follows the light cycle, the body's expected pattern.
It really does. Because your metabolism, it's generally higher in the morning and afternoon. That's when your body is primed to handle food, use energy.
And then it slows down in the evening.
Right. As evening approaches, things naturally wind down. The body shifts focus from doing and digesting to repairing and resting.
So fasting time like that just supports that natural daily flow. Day for activity, night for recovery.
Precisely. It reinforces the cycle.
Okay, but let's be real. Is it always smooth sailing? Does everyone who tries intermittent fasting suddenly sleep like a baby? The material suggests maybe not always, especially at first.
That's a really, really important point. Honesty here. While those long-term benefits are definitely possible, some folks do experience bumps initially.
What kind of bumps?
Things like finding it a bit harder to actually fall asleep,
Mhm.
or maybe waking up way earlier than
The
usual.
dreaded 3 a.m. wake
Yeah.
up.
Or just feeling like their sleep is lighter, more restless,
Hmm.
not as deep.
Hmm. So why might that happen? What's going on when you first start?
There could be a few things at play. One is cortisol.
The stress hormone.
Right. When your body's first adapting to this new eating pattern, this fasting state, there can sometimes be a temporary increase in cortisol levels.
And more cortisol isn't exactly relaxing.
Not ideal for sleep, no.
Yeah.
Another factor is your body adjusting to, well, lower levels of insulin and glucose circulating, especially overnight.
Metabolic shift.
Yeah. And that shift can sometimes just temporarily mess with your sleep architecture. Maybe less deep sleep for a bit.
It's like an adjustment period.
Exactly.
Right.
Like starting a new workout plan, you might feel a bit off at first. Your body needs time to adapt to the new routine. Same idea here.
Does the length of the fast matter too? Like longer fasts versus shorter time-restricted eating windows?
It seems so, yeah. The research hints that longer fasts, maybe over 24 hours, could actually increase alertness,
I feel more awake.
potentially,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even reduce melatonin a bit. There was a study, I think, from 2021 looking at 48-hour fasts.
Okay.
It found people slept less overall, but felt more alert. And this seemed linked to higher levels of things like orexin and norepinephrine, chemicals involved in wakefulness.
Which makes a certain kind of sense evolutionarily, maybe. If you haven't eaten for ages, your body wants you alert to find food.
That's one way to think about it, yeah. A kind of heightened awareness state.
But the crucial bit here is these initial negative effects, they often don't last.
That's the key message, absolutely. For many people, these issues tend to lessen or even just disappear as their body gets used to the rhythm. Adaptation is key.
Okay, good to know. So for people listening who are fasting or thinking about it and want to nail the sleep side of things, what practical tips can we offer?
Right. Actionable stuff. Number one, and we touched on this, avoid eating right before bed. That 3-hour buffer minimum is a good rule of thumb.
Give digestion a head start before sleep,
Exactly. And maybe experiment with shifting your whole eating window earlier.
like that 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or maybe 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah, try those out. See if an earlier window feels better, aligns more with your energy levels and sleepiness cues. It's individual.
Makes sense. What else?
Caffeine, obvious maybe, but crucial. Watch it, keep it to the morning, or maybe cut it off by 2 p.m. at the latest.
Don't want it lingering when you're trying to wind down.
Definitely not. Hydration is important too. Stay hydrated through the day. But maybe don't gulp down loads of water right before bed.
The nighttime bathroom trips, yeah.
They definitely disrupt sleep. So hydrate well, but ease off closer to bedtime.
Simple but effective.
Totally. And then think beyond just food timing. That wind down routine in the evening, super important.
Creating signals for sleep.
Exactly. Gentle stretching, maybe some reading a real book, not a screen, or using those blue light blocking glasses if you're using screens.
Calming activities.
Right. These things work with the fasting benefits they compound. Oh, and one more, maybe some light exercise in the morning.
How does that help?
It's another Zeitgeber. It helps reset that circadian clock, gets you exposed to light, and can actually improve sleep depth later that night.
Okay, so lots of things to try. Let's just quickly recap the main links here. Fasting, sleep, circadian rhythm, they're really tightly connected.
Absolutely. Eating late, we've seen, can really get in the way of your body's nighttime repair jobs.
Undermine sleep quality.
Right. But timed, thoughtfully, intermittent fasting can be a way to help sync up your eating with your body's natural daily program, digestion, activity, and that crucial rest phase.
Sending up the systems.
But, and this is but it's personal.
No single perfect window for everyone.
Not at all. An early window might be great for one person, maybe a slightly later one works better for someone else based on their lifestyle, their genetics, everything.
So the real advice is pay attention.
Yes. Listen to your body. How does a particular fasting schedule make you feel? Not just physically, but mentally. Your clarity, your mood.
And crucially, your sleep. How rested do you actually feel?
That's the ultimate test. Are you getting that restorative sleep?
Well, this has been super insightful. Really highlights how something like when we eat isn't just about weight or digestion, but has these profound effects right down to our sleep quality and our body's fundamental rhythms.
It's all connected, isn't it? So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Just take a moment today or tonight. Consider your own eating patterns.
How might that timing be influencing your sleep, your energy, just how you feel overall.
Exactly. And maybe, just maybe, based on what we've talked about, a small tweak here or there could make a surprisingly big difference. Something to explore.